January 3rd, 1868. Huh? For some reason, the Fushimi magistrate was buzzing in a panicked frenzy this morning.
Alright, men, to your stations. Everyone stay on high alert.
Each of the soldiers was busy preparing for war. Oh no. Had the Satsuma finally made their move?
What's the matter, Chizuru?
Did something happen?
Yeah, looks like the Shogunate army's marching for Osaka right now.
The Shogunate army is? Then, does that mean they're moving soldiers to Kyoto to prepare for battle?
No, I think they're just trying to scare out the Satsuma with all the soldiers at their disposal. Best case scenario is they run with their tails tucked under the legs before we even get there. There's like 15,000 of our troops in Osaka. The Satsuma and Choshu, on the other hand, has less than half of that. With common sense, they don't stand a chance. They'd be stupid to not withdraw their troops.
Oh, really?
Yeah, sounds great and all, but we're dealing with the Satsuma and the Choshu here.
Hijikata had walked into the room, and beside him was Saito, as usual.
Look, I think it's just simple math, you know?
Have you forgotten the Hamaguri rebellion from almost 3 years ago? If they have already put forth this much effort, I am certain they are prepared for our men. Unlike last time, the Satsuma will be on the other side of our front lines.
Yeah, I didn't forget. That's why any of us are here, preparing for the worst.
It seems like Saito's comment upset Nagakura. Suddenly an eerie sound rang from afar. Without a word, we looked at one another. Nagakura then broke the silence, still irate from our conversation.
Seriously? That was a gunshot. Did that really just happen? Seems like it. Saito, take Yamazaki and investigate outside. Shinpachi, rush the men to prepare for battle.
Understood.
Roger!
As soon as Saito and Yamazaki responded, they started to scout the surrounding area. However, Hijikata said nothing to me, and he left to delegate further instructions. Saito mentioned the Hamaguri rebellion. During that time, the Choshu charged into Kyoto, but were driven back by the Shogunate and Satsuma. But this time the roles were different. It was the Shogunate army who was on the attack, and the Satsuma Choshu on the defensive. It isn't really right for any army to try and oppress others through brute force. Eventually, barrages of gunfire were heard throughout Kyoto. The Shogunate army and the Satsuma Choshu had finally erupted into war. Interesting. I wonder what's gonna happen this time. Because we're still not with Kazuma. Is Arshin Inoue gonna be on the run and he comes and rescues her, or kidnaps her, or something? I don't know. I guess we'll find out. The curtain had been drawn. Before we knew it, the Fushimi magistrate was under attack, and men swarmed to rush outside and the incoming Satsuma soldiers. Then... Ah! All throughout the morning, countless cannonballs were aimed straight at the Fushimi magistrate.
This does not bode well. At this rate, it is only a matter of time before this building gives out. Do we have no way of returning any cannon fire as well?
Well, the problem is that the enemy cannons are situated far away and high up, so aiming is hard.
The Satsuma artillery units were encamped in a nearby mountain range close to the magistrate. From their vantage point, they could fire anywhere. However, trying to fire cannons from a lower area to a higher one was nearly impossible.
No! At this rate, we may as well be serving as target practice for their cannons.
Inoue glared at their encampment angrily. In the meantime, I had been occupied with coming? The numerous injured soldiers returning? Sure.
What was that sound? Is the building falling apart?
It's okay. Please, don't panic. Everything will be okay, so please. Just rest for now. As I listened to the thunderous bellow of the cannons, I could only hope it would end soon. That's all I could do. Just hope it would end. Nope. Each impact from the Satsuma cannon shook the ground beneath the magistrate. Ah! I was growing impatient, but my frustration grew since all I could do was cower. Being so powerless left me vexed, and I just wanted to curl into a ball and cry. Aw, poor Chizuru. She's not having a good day. Then the cannon fire ceased, and the magistrate was eerily silent. I sat quietly, uncertain of what was to come, before I heard the gate open and some of our men returned. I couldn't contain myself to hear the news of the front, and I ran out of my room. Oh. After seeing Hijikata and the rest of the men return safely, my legs felt wobbly from the relief. But their moods looked sour, and I was less hesitant to approach as I read their expressions more closely. Everyone was so silent, and the austerity of their arrival led me to believe things weren't well. Many of the warriors came back bandaged and filthy, and blood soldiers flooded the courtyard. Just seeing their worn, ripped uniforms illustrated just how intense the fighting must have been. Man, we're just flying through. The sun had begun to set, and the atmosphere around the magistrate had shifted from almost unanimous optimism to bleak frustration. However, there was no reprieve for us, as enemy cannon fire resumed once more in the evening. Waves of cannonballs hit us, one after the other, and the magistrate had caught ablaze. The Satsuma, to their credit, seemed to use the flames as a target, increasing the cannon fire. Hijikata quickly gathered the captains when news of the fire broke out.
This place won't hold for long. I spoke with the Aizu and they ordered us to retreat. Retreat? Where the hell are we supposed to go from here? Yodo Castle. We'll regroup there in the castle and use it as our headquarters to plan a counter. Saito, gather the injured. Understood. Shinpachi, Harada, round up everyone who can still move and secure an escape route. Right, leave that to us. And Gen, get rid of any unnecessary weapons, munitions, or gold that we can't take with us.
Yes, sir. Consider it done.
Gold, eh? Everyone bowed once the orders were received, and Hijikata was looking to leave the room quickly. It was difficult not to be intimidated by the tense atmosphere, however. Ahem! Ahem! I mustered enough courage to stop Hijikata.
What, Yukimura? Is there something else?
Who should I go with?
Oh, right. Gen, take her to Yodo Castle with you, will you?
Very well. Let's go now.
Hijikata flew out of the room and everyone scurried to their respective stations. Although I knew where I had to go, I didn't really have anyone to talk to about what was going on. What I'd wanted was to get rid of all of these anxious, uncertain feelings, but I had no one with whom I could speak about said feelings. If only we had someone. But, considering all that was going on, I guess it made sense that there was no time to talk. The least I can do for now is to work hard and help Inoue, so I don't seem like a burden to anyone. Or this is what I tried to tell myself as I silently followed behind Inoue. She's got some interesting feelings this time around. Isn't this usually the demon music that plays, too? I just realized the music's different than what it usually is. It's not high anxiety-inducing music.
Okay, time to head out. Are you ready to leave?
Yes, I'm fine. We were finishing getting rid of the weapons before we rushed out of the Fushimi Magistrate. Many of the other warriors had already left, so we were some of the only ones who remained. Just then... we heard cannons land right next to where we were. Gah! Whoa. The following shockwave made me trip. Whoa.
These walls must be crumbling, and the flames are growing in size. We must leave this place as soon as possible. Hurry, Yukimura! The city is surely filled with Satsuma Choshu soldiers. so perhaps we should use the forest to avoid them.
Okay. Inoue and I left the crumbly magistrate, quickly making our way for Yodo Castle. That was close.
We should arrive at Yodo Castle shortly. I know you may be tired from running all this way, but it's just a ways away. Hang in there.
I'm fine. Just as the words left my mouth.
You there, stop!
Suddenly a voice came from behind us, halting us in our tracks. I put my hand on my Kodachi and turned around. It was a group of foot soldiers. The Satsuma Choshu warriors were marked by their tight black sleeves, so these men may have just been shogunate warriors. However, the warriors treated us suspiciously. I was sure that explaining things to them would clear the air, in one way or another. Sorry to surprise you. We're from the Shinsengumi.
The Shinsengumi?
Yes, we're on our way to Yodo Castle.
Wait, Yukimura.
Suddenly, Inoue placed his arm in front of me. Inoue?
Hey, we got some enemies from the Shinsengumi!
One of the soldiers in front began yelling to his men in the back of his troop. What?
Yukimura, this way!
Inoue grabbed my hand and started running. What's going on? Aren't they in the shogunate army?
I think it would be more accurate to say were.
You mean... As the tide of war began to slide in favor of the Satsuma Choshu, some men had decided to betray the shogunate, but how could they? Ah! One of the foot soldiers jumped from behind a bush.
Capture them! They're in the Shinsengumi!
Additionally, more voices came from behind us. I was starting to realize we had no way to escape, and I placed my hand on the hilt of my Kodachi.
Yukimura, hide behind me.
Inoue spoke curtly, and he took something from out of his pocket. Oh man, are we getting Fury Inoue? It was a tiny glass vial. The serum? Inoue, is that the water of life?
It will be necessary if I hope to protect you from them.
But... Just as I screamed out to him, we were interrupted by the shots of gunfire aimed towards us. Then... Darn it, Inoue never got the chance. I'm so sorry, boy.
No.
Inoue choked up. His eyes rolled behind his head and he collapsed. Oh, he's already gone? Welp. Welp. Double welp. The glass vial containing the water of life fell from his hand and shattered on the floor. Inoue! Hang in there! Inoue! I shook his shoulders as he laid still on the floor. However, Inoue showed no sign of response. His eyes were still open, but they were glassy, and the sparkle of life in them had dimmed. The hole from where the bullet entered his body gushed his blood. Oh. I realized immediately. Inoue was dead. The kind-hearted soul, whom I deeply admired, had been murdered.
Did we do it? Take his head! If we hand it over to the Satsuma and Choshu, we may get a reward.
You guys are... I angrily unsheathed my Kodachi, readying my feet to prepare myself to fight the soldiers. You betrayed the shogunate, didn't you?
Betrayed? What shogunate? They're gone! We decide on our own where our allegiance lies.
Even if the shogunate is experiencing a setback, it doesn't change the fact that you've betrayed both the shogunate and Lord Yoshinobu. You vow to serve the shogunate, and yet you run at the first sign of trouble. Aren't you ashamed? For someone like me, who witnessed firsthand from the Shinsengumi what honor really meant, these warriors committed an unforgivable sin. However, honor didn't seem to be something these warriors thought highly of. They're like, there's still one talking, killer.
There's still one left. Fire!
Then a group of soldiers pointed all of their rifles in my direction. Then... Oh, they got me. An agonizing pain seared through my whole body. This is not how I was expecting it to go at all. However, thanks to the demon blood flowing through my veins, all of my wounds quickly healed. For once. Usually I die when that happens.
Well, what the hell? I saw the bullets hit him, but they're still alive. Is it a monster?
Hearing the soldier call me a monster made my heart hurt. Nah, man. Turn it back on them. True, I'm no human. However, you call me the monster when you're the traitors who turn their back on their allies! You're the real monsters!
The monster is saying something!
Well, so much for that.
Fire! Fire at will until that thing's dead!
Yet another wave of bullets ripped my flesh apart and my body felt weary. Go and kill some people at least, Chizuru. No, I can't die here. I must avenge Inoue. Or...
You despicable pieces of shit. Abandoning the shogunate is one thing, but attempting to harm such a noble demon specimen with your disgusting, clumsy weapons.
That voice! Just then I felt the warm embrace of arms wrap around me before lifting me up. The heck? What did you do, come in here flying on a horse like a knight? Awesome! Woo! Yes! Yes! I'm here for it! The soldiers' eyes grew wide, and in the blink of an eye, they were all slain, falling to the floor. Kazama? The serious loss of blood caused my vision to blur. However, I could recognize that deep voice anywhere. I knew it was him.
Save your strength. You may be a demon, but you took a battering back there. It'll be a moment before you fully heal.
Compared to the other times we had met, his words were gentle and comforting. Why was Kazuma helping me? This was a man who, time and time again, took sadistic pleasure in attacking the Shinsengumi. Another troop of traitorous soldiers watched Kazuma from afar, hurrying over with rifles in hand.
Who the hell are you? You with that monster over there? So what if I am? Then me and my men here will shoot you to death! Shoot me to death? Don't make me laugh. I didn't think it was possible to meet someone so unbelievably pathetic and ludicrous.
Kazuma grinned menacingly, allowing me to stand behind him as he chuckled to himself. He was protecting me, and from behind him I felt strangely safe. Very strange.
Wait there. It'll only be a moment until I wipe our sight of this filth.
Kazuma murmured to me softly, then he turned to face the warriors, who seemed terrified. Then...
Let's make this quick, shall we? I don't like to waste time killing you worthless pigs. If you want to attack me, you better give it your all. It'll be the last thing you ever do. Fire!
All of the warriors aimed their guns to shoot. Then Kazuma vanished like smoke before me. And then... Alright, see him in action. I'd heard the sounds of flesh being sliced apart.
You bastard! You're a monster too?!
The sparks from the combusting gunpowder flashed in the darkness. You want to repeat that? Yet Kazuma dodged each bullet with ease, slaughtering the men easily with quick slashes. The soldiers barely had time to scream out in anguish as they met their gruesome ends. There was an elegance in Kazuma's madness, and as horrific as it was, I'd been entranced by it all. Uh-oh, she's gone.
Slaughtering you bastards is child's play to me, and you're not worth my time.
Kazuma glared coldly at the pile of dismembered corpses on the floor and he sheathed his sword. Then he turned to face me.
Are you feeling any better? You should have healed enough to walk by now.
Oh. Thank you. But why did you help me? If you're still working with the Satsuma, then that makes us enemies. Kazuma averted his gaze coolly, staying silent. Just then a whirlwind whipped around us. Yes? And out of the shadows, I heard a rustle in the bushes, a figure emerging from the darkness. Dad? Ah, you were my second guess. Sister, brother, good to see you. So I know you and Kazuma worked together earlier, when you broke in because you have a beef with Okita. Does Kazuma answer to you, or what's the relationship exactly?
Oh, I'm so glad you're alive, Chizuru. I was so worried that those stupid humans would have tried to kill you.
What? Who was approaching us? How did they know my name? The voice sounded somewhat familiar.
Are you having trouble recognizing me because I'm dressed like this? We'd met before in Kyoto, remember?
Ah. Good job, Chizuru. Oh! I remember now. I think I remember meeting them while on a round with Okita. Are you... Kaoru Nagamo?
You remembered me. That makes me so happy, Chizuru.
But you look...
I can explain, but when we first met, I couldn't really tell you that I was actually a man.
The Nagamo clan of Tosa, eh? So, you must be one of the demons from Shikoku.
Indeed, I have you to thank, Chikage Kazuma. Thank you for protecting my sweet little sister from those wretched humans.
So you're not working together. I'm still confused. Little sister? Kaoru, however, ignored my question.
Chizuru, there's someone I want you to meet. Someone I think you'd be very interested to see.
Kaoru turned to face the forest behind him. Sheesh. What a meeting this is. First I get saved by the guy who wants to be my husband really badly. And then sister brother reveals he's my brother. And then dad's coming out of the forest? Welp. Okay, let's do this. I squinted to get a better look, and I saw a shadow emerge from the darkness. It was... Oh my goodness! What? Father!
It has been some time, Chizuru. How have you been, my child?
Father greeted me with a warm smile, and all of a sudden I felt like we were back in Edo. If I was unaware of all that he had been accused of by the Shinsengumi, then I may have possibly welcomed him with a tight hug. However, I took a step back as he came closer.
Chizuru, what's the matter?
Father. Honestly, I didn't want to ask him this. More than anything, I just wanted to take solace in the fact that we were seeing each other after over 4 years.
Tell me, is it true that you were performing research that turned humans into monsters with the Shinsengumi? How could you do such a thing? Didn't you become a doctor because you wanted to save people's lives?
I'll explain, Chizuru. My adorable little sister.
I'm your little sister?
Yes, and I am your twin brother. After the Yukimura village was destroyed, I was adopted by the Nagamo clan. This is proof alone of our relationship.
That's
right. This is the Daitsuren, the partner Kadachi to your Shotsuren. This is a family heirloom that has been passed down through each generation of Yukimura.
By the way, thanks, Chikage, for just letting us have this family moment. I appreciate your patience. Father, is what Kaoru's saying true?
Yes. We were hoping to speak with you about these matters eventually.
When Sen had visited the Shinsengumi a long time ago, she told me that I possessed the blood of a demon. It hasn't quite sunk in yet that I had a twin brother who was standing right in front of me.
Father, tell me one thing. Do we really come from a demon clan?
Father smiled kindly.
I don't blame you for not realizing right away, but yes, that is correct. You are the heir to the Yukimura legacy, meaning you are destined to lead our clan to greatness. Finally, you have come to accept it. Nothing could make me happier.
Questions that I had had about myself for years were finally receiving answers. When I was a child, I realized that I was a little different to other kids. All the things Sen and Kazuma told me before. They were coming together at once. And I am a demon. Hello, everyone.
So the hell are you creating these fakes for? What you're doing is disgraceful. You're sullying the nobility of our demon heritage.
Don't you see? It's to restore the Yukimura clan.
Restore the Yukimura clan?
With the help of the Nagami clan, I have finally perfected the Water of Life. With this, we can overthrow the shogunate and take credit for its success. If that were to happen, then the powers that be in this country could no longer control us. It's time for us to reclaim what's rightfully ours and seek vengeance against the humans who destroyed our village. Why so glum, Chizuru? Aren't you excited to lead the Yukimura clan? Now we can create a life of peace, where no one would dare threaten us ever again. Not such a bad deal, don't you agree?
There was so much to take in, and I was speechless from everything Kaoru and Father had said. How could they be serious? Did they really think the Water of Life could defeat the shogunate and restore our clan? All those lives sacrificed, for what? For this?
This sickens me. You want credit for overthrowing the shogunate. All you're doing is interrupting the petty squabble of human affairs. Such an endeavor is beneath us, demons. Sure, sit on your high horse, but... weren't you working with the Satsuma as well, Kazuma? What makes you think you're any better than us?
Kazuma seethed with contempt, and his eyes glowed with hatred towards Kaoru. To what extent he had been involved with the Satsuma, I do not know. Or for what purpose. At least, though, I knew it wasn't something as selfish as trying to gain notoriety for toppling the shogunate. Wow. Get hecked, dad and brother. Instead of responding right away, Kazuma fixed his gaze on me and spoke calmly. Aw, thanks for asking permission, babe. That's so nice. I'm glad you didn't just be like, excuse me a minute.
Mind if I kill all of them, right here and now?
No, I'll talk to them. She's not like, what? She's like, I appreciate it, dude, but let me try talking to them first. Aw, that's so great. I love it. You know what? I'm not Koto's daughter. Because I'm the head of the Yukimura clan. I am the descendant of the chief of the Yukimura clan. Yeah! He's like, that's my girl! I love it.
Huh. Seems like just yesterday that you didn't even know you were a demon. Whatever. If you can swing it, be my guest.
Okay. I like the mutual respect there. Very good. I took a deep breath before directing what I had to say at Kaoru. Kaoru, I have seen many men in the Shinsengumi become furies. So keep this in mind as I speak. If you think that serum is our solution, then I think we have no need to restore our clan.
No need to restore our clan? You mean to say... you think we should just grit our teeth and accept the death of our clan? Our village was destroyed, our real parents were murdered, and you don't want revenge?
Ah! I knew it! Thank you! Thank you, Kaoru, for finally confirming something I've been wondering forever. I'm like, is that really our dad? I mean, yes, he raised her. He's not our dad! Well...
You're so naive, Chizuru. Besides, with or without the Furies or the Water of Life, humans will continue to engage in pointless conflicts until the extinction of their species. With all of the corruption plaguing the future of this country, drastic steps need to be taken to prevent what happened from ever happening again.
Kaoru.
This is going nowhere. But it's to be expected.
With an air of composure, Cosma unsheathed his blade and stood in front of me. Welp.
I believe killing another demon is a punishable act that makes the offender a stray demon.
However, the crime of creating fake demons, to me, makes you even lower than that. Besides, as a demon lord, it is my duty to crush those who have strayed from the path of righteousness.
I see. However, it is a little unfair to expect me to cross swords with a demon lord.
Father put 2 fingers to his lips, whistling loudly. Oh, come on. Then... Whoa. Things got red all of a sudden. What the? Pairs of red eyes flash in the nearby darkness. This can't be! Oh. Oh, alright. Got a whole army of these guys. What appeared were white-haired, red-eyed Furies. It wasn't only 1 or 2 of them either. Out of nowhere, almost 24 Furies had appeared in front of us. So how about retreat, husbando?
Huh. You've sure been busy creating all these Furies, haven't you? Kodo, I could murder you over 1,000 times, and it still wouldn't be enough for me.
The human world is about to welcome a new era. We demons need to rid ourselves of these archaic customs and adapt to survive. Furies, kill that man and feast on his blood.
Father whistled once more, and the Furies had gathered around both Cosma and I, and we could see their bloodthirsty eyes pick us apart. Oh.
You think you can kill me and feast on my blood? What a joke. Do any of you pathetic weaklings really think you stand a chance against me?
I believe in you! Cosma stormed forth, slashing with grace at every Fury that stood in his path. However, striking anywhere other than a vital organ on a Fury meant they could still heal. Furthermore, these Furies looked to be a huge improvement over the Furies at the Shinsengumi. Just as this thought came to mind.
We'll come back for you, Chizuru. Next time, I hope you give us a good answer.
Wait! I tried running after them, but before I could even get close to them, Father and Kaoru vanished like smoke. So they fully expect these Furies to be killed by Cosma, just so that they can escape. These sneaks.
I lost them, huh?
After seeing them disappear, Cosma turned around and slaughtered every remaining Fury without even breaking a sweat. He didn't even have to turn into his demon form. He looked irate as he quickly sheathed his sword. After a moment, he turned to face me.
Why are you here in the first place? Where are the Shinsengumi?
I wasn't sure if I should respond or not. I didn't want to share confidential information with Cosma, who had been working with the Satsuma domain. However, he had just saved your life. No matter how extreme he may have taken things, Cosma did save me just now. I was on my way to Yodo Castle.
Got it. So, they abandoned the Fushimi magistrates so they hide their asses at Yodo Castle, huh? Those pitiful dogs wouldn't stop barking about protecting you. Why are you here alone?
My heart felt heavy as the memory of Inoue's death came back to the forefront of my mind. I couldn't get myself to put it to words. Perhaps my silence told him everything he'd needed to hear, and Kazuma slowly turned away.
How ironic. Turns out the only one capable of keeping you safe when you needed them most was me, not them.
Kazuma's words were strangely playful, and he smiled smugly to me without any real malice, for once. Although my doubts about Kazuma's character hadn't necessarily faded completely, it was true. He kept me safe.
What do you plan to do now?
I will head to Yodo Castle. I must rejoin the other warriors as soon as possible.
Rejoin the Shinsengumi. Don't do that.
Why not? I knew that Kazuma wasn't in any way fond of the Shinsengumi, so I wonder if that was an insult. Normally, I felt Kazuma had no right to tell me how to live my life. However, just for today, I didn't stop him from explaining himself.
All of those areas have been taken over by the Satsuma. But if your idea of a good time is seeing the rotting corpses of your friends, be my guest.
Well, thinking back to all that had been going on as we fled the magistrate, Kazuma's words made sense. And if Kazuma had never stumbled upon me, I likely would have been brutally murdered as well. Even if I were to head for Yodo Castle, I had no guarantee it would do myself any good. However...
Let me let you in on a secret. Yodo Castle's already defected over to the Satsuma Choshu's side.
What? The Yodo betrayed the Shogunate army? I stared in disbelief at Kazuma. What? That can't be.
They won't be able to enter Yodo Castle. It's only a matter of time till the Shinsengumi runs out of allies, and they're forced to give up. If you go now, you'll just be a burden for them. Don't go.
I wasn't expecting him to say any of this, and my chest felt a dull pain. Is that... true?
What good would lying to you do me? Takagawa's done for.
I actually think Kazuma could be telling the truth. I mean, there's no one here right now to stop him from kidnapping you if he wanted to. He doesn't have to convince you, but he is? His crimson eyes stared back at me solemnly. So the Yodo domain truly has betrayed the Shogunate. That's more of a reason for me to reunite with the Shinsengumi. The Shinsengumi men don't know that the Yodo has betrayed us yet. If I tell them, maybe I can prevent them from walking into a trap. So, reuniting with them was even more important.
Darling, you've got a real thick skull.
Kazuma turned away from me and started walking towards the darkness. I watched him become engulfed by the thick trees, and I wasn't sure if I should follow him or not. Should I run, or... Kazuma doesn't seem to be manipulating me in any way, so I trusted my instincts and ran after him into the forest.